How's it hanging, YouTubes? Peter here, your Ginger Geordie Geek. Welcome back to What If. Today we're going to be looking at Star Wars, so I cannot wait. So I've got an amazing panel of guests here to chat with today and give you their pictures and their reimaginings of Star Wars. So we'll start off with one of my good friends, Luke. How are you doing, Luke?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah, how are you been?
Not so bad, mate. Not so bad. You excited for this?
I am very excited for this one. Been waiting a long time.
Tremendous. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one, I think. I think it's going to be some interesting takes, shall we say? I know mine's a little off the wall, as you might imagine. So, my other good friend, we've got, of course, James T Keegan. How are you doing, James? You muted, James.
So worth it.
Hang on, James. Hang on. It's not like we're live. Just a second. Right, okay. And my other good friend, we're joined by James T Keegan.
Hello there.
Flawless, amazing,
flawless, absolutely flawless.
Peter, I never drop the ball on the intros. You know that.
You do. So I know. Tremendous.
This is a once in a lifetime.
Before we get started, I have forgotten to ask you before we went live. Will you keep an eye in the comments for James, please?
Yeah, Chris.
How are you doing? Are you well?
All is good, man. Yeah. I've been living and breathing Star Wars for the last few weeks. You know, I'm on my vacation in Fallujah right now. You know, just dodging stormtroopers and everything.
Where's Fallujah? Which planet?
Fallujah is from Revenge of the Sith. Peter, you should know that.
It looks like Avatar to me. Is it not got blue birds and shit?
It has a bit of Avatar-ness to it, but then Avatar came after, so you know.
Okay, I'll let it.
Who stole from
Lovely to see you as usual, gents. And this week we are joined by a returning guest who we've not seen for a little while. The always entertaining and amazing Jason Parker.
This is not the YouTube show you're looking for.
Don't say that. Switch off.
Oh, it is. This is the YouTube show you're looking for.
Do you know what? It's a huge step up from the plastic bag.
It is. Yeah, it is. Yeah. You've upped your game, Jason, I have to say.
Well, it's very hot here. I got a blanket over me. And it's Tatooine, isn't it? It's boiling hot. It's two suns and everything.
Yeah.
So
you've got a tan. You're looking a little bit Obi-Wan there, aren't you? You're looking a bit Obi-Wan. It's looking good.
Yeah. Well, do you know what? I wanted to get some more white on my beard, and I figured I didn't need it really.
No.
Yeah.
In fact,
thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me on.
Not a problem. Not always a pleasure to have you on, Jason. I was just going to say, you know, not to flatter you as we go in, but you could probably be Ewan McGregor's stunt double if you wanted. You know, I know you have some acting chops about you, don't you?
Well, if he sits down eating donuts all day, I would happily be his stunt double.
No, you're looking tremendous, mate. So thank you very much, guys. Really do appreciate you coming on tonight. Like I said, we're going to do our reimagining of Star Wars. So I think this is going to be interesting. Before we crack straight on, Jason, what was that? What are you? What was that?
Oh shit!
Oh.
No.
Didn't work.
That's not a blanket. It's got arms. What are you?
Well,
You look like Rocky now. Oh, see.
It is literally.
Fair enough.
Have you never heard of a snuddy, Peter? God,
What?
a snuddy.
No.
It's like a blanket hoodie thing.
Oh,
They're
God.
awesome. Yeah.
We're only a few minutes in and I've lost it already. Right. Okay. James, can you take one to the comments and let one know who's in?
I will indeed. We got a lot of the usuals in here today. We got Fuzzy, of course.
Hi, Fuzzy.
Good to see you, bro. You got
Hey,
Sarah
Fuzz.
and Doug Levy.
Hi,
Levy.
I'll be
Hey
logging.
guys.
Yep. Luke obviously holding down the chat.
Hi,
We
Luke.
got the Grey Man.
Hi, mate.
We got Andy from Perpetual Comics.
Hi, Andy.
And we got the
And-
Killer Comics show.
Only 5 away. That's right.
Oh,
Thank you very much, guys. I'm
there
5
you go.
subs
So
away
that's
from my
somebody
next target of 600. So,
Oh wow! Come on,
not
let's
far.
let's get into that 600 by the end of the next show.
I mean, Jason, let's just, if you could just give a message to the people there, perhaps a little bit of a, you know, Jedi mind trick.
Yeah. Okay. Hang on a second. Subscribe to Triple G Comics! Exclamation mark! I didn't know your channel had an exclamation mark on it. You know that?
I didn't know. You threw us slightly with the funny noise at the start. That was great.
You need to clip that, Peter, and put it at the end of all of your videos.
Yeah. Oh, right then, guys,
Brilliant.
moving straight on. Hi, Efren. Nice to see you.
Efren.
What's up?
Okay, so very true.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So we're here tonight to talk about what if. So as we usually do on the show, we're going to talk briefly about Star Wars to start with, and just go through some of the movies and the bits and bobs and get your views on it. So we're not going to steal Efren's thunder, because myself, James, and Luke are going to do a top 3 with him shortly about our favorite Star Wars characters. But we've got a whole array, a galaxy, you might say, of different characters and different races and things that are in Star Wars. Are there any in particular that jump out to you guys? Any characters that you particularly are drawn to? We'll start with you, James.
I mean, Vader is one of, if not the greatest character in all of film. You know, I think even particularly like from the original trilogy, but Disney has handled that character, I think, incredibly well recently. We've been seeing more of him than we ever had before, and I'm all for it. You know.
I think he's. I mean, we'll get to it in a little bit, but his appearances so far in Obi-Wan, and I know we've talked briefly before about Rogue One, and that end scene with him is tremendous. How about you, Jason?
Do you know what? I do love a bit of Darth Maul, and I'm not a massive fan of the first episode, but I thought Darth Maul, when you saw his dual lightsaber and that fight scene with Qui-Gon Jinn, and Obi-Wan Kenobi, was amazing, and that soundtrack, Duel of the Fates, I think it just completely, blew me away the first time I saw it. But you've got to go with, I suppose, I'm going to be cheeky here and go for Han Solo. He's cool, isn't he?
Yeah. Bit of Han Solo, I think it's interesting you mentioning, Darth Maul there, because I think it's sometimes I forget that if you weren't reading the comics, I guess, and James is a Star Wars expert on the panel, really, if you weren't reading the comics and stuff, I'd never thought there was any difference to normal lightsabers. I didn't realize you got other versions. So that first time you saw Darth Maul igniting the dual saber was pretty spectacular, having not seen anything from Star Wars in terms of movies for a long time. Then all of a sudden you get that, it kind of blows your mind.
Yeah, and of course it was shot in super widescreen, wasn't it? So when the lightsaber came out, it just looked amazing. But I do remember watching it again on I think it was some VHS video, and of course it was pan and scan. But when he did it, it cut off half the lightsaber. It just looked ridiculous. So you got to see it in this full widescreen glory, definitely.
Tremendous movie. Luke.
Yeah, so I'm not going to do any spoilers, because obviously we are, like you say, doing Efren's show. So I'm not going to say any character names, but I'm going to say the type of characters that I like. I like the rogues, I like the smugglers, the bandits, and of course the bounty hunters. So I like anyone that is, just on that outside edge of the law. So
So Boba Fett then.
Do you know what? Not Boba Fett.
Oh,
not Boba Fett. But you'll have to tune in to Efren's show to find out who.
Yeah,
I will.
So for me, because I mean, you guys, I think, know me well enough now to know I'm a goody two shoes. I love the Jedi. I like everything about them. I like, absolutely not Grey Man, absolutely not despise.
I like Jar Jar.
Luke, James likes Jar Jar, don't you, James?
Yeah, I think genuinely, that movie would be worse without him. So
no,
I'll just leave that there.
Yeah. So yeah, I love the Jedi because I like everything they stand for, and I like that noble kind of approach. But it kind of diminishes, I think, as the films go on, I guess, a little bit. But yeah, so that's some of the characters. I've grouped these into the different trilogies. We've obviously got the first trilogy there with Episode 1, Phantom Menace, etc. Then we've got Star Wars, and then the recent Force Awakens. Anybody got any of those that stand out? Any films in particular that stand out? Without saying Empire Strikes Back. Luke.
So I know a lot of people say that the Force Awakens was just like a complete rip-off and a copy, and that's why everyone loved it. But in all honesty, I really did enjoy it when it came out. I don't care if it was repeating the same thing again. This is for a whole new generation now. And yeah, that film for me really did ignite Star Wars back into my life. I feel like I kind of fell to the wayside with it quite a bit before that.
How about you, James?
For a very long time, and I still probably would rank it. I think second, Revenge of the Sith. I think that's the best closing of a trilogy across the whole saga. I thought it just perfectly connected the prequels and the original trilogy. Didn't leave any really loose threads at all.
Yeah.
And just like a really incredible, epic tragedy.
Yeah, no, I agree. Jason?
Well, I'm not allowed to mention Empire. Back. I'm not. Well, no, we don't want to talk about the obvious Star Wars because the very first A New Hope was amazing. For me, it's Return of the Jedi, probably for nostalgic reasons. I just love that the chase scene through the woods, and sounded rude that. I just, the Ewoks at the time were quite cute, But did you know the Ewoks really were horrible, nasty beasts who used to eat people and torture people? Anywho, Return of the Jedi, the scene where Jabba the Hutt's palace, Princess Leia in bondage gear, everything like that, brilliant.
Yeah,
loved it.
Jason, I'm just aware that anybody kind of jumping in halfway through will think we've captured some kind of traveling lady and put her in the corner. Are you going to leave the blanket on throughout the show? Or?
Well, mate, until I pass out, yeah.
Okay, right.
Maybe I'll just do this. Yeah, look at that.
Very good.
Oh, thanks. Hide my face now. That's better.
So for me, and might be a bit of a people might not agree. Episode 1, and I think it's Episode 1 in terms of the Phantom Menace, because it's that kind of. I watched Star Wars at Christmas and things like that before it hit the cinema, but then the excitement and the build-up for when Episode 1 was coming out was just intense. I remember they released all the original trilogy and remastered them, I think. So I went and saw them all at the cinema for the first time, and then Phantom Menace hit, and yes, it had issues with Jar Jar and all the rest of it, but that lightsaber battle with Darth Maul, as you mentioned, I just thought it was superb, and it really kind of reignited a forgotten passion and love for Star Wars. So probably it's not the best film, but because of what it represents in terms of my rekindling passion for Star Wars, I would go with Phantom Menace.
A little fun fact: Phantom Menace is the first film I saw in the cinema. I was
ever.
I think I was 4. I remember. I remember seeing it. Yeah.
He's so young.
Jason saw it at the cinema and he was about 48 at the time, Jason. Is that
Yes, something like that. Hello there.
So I've popped this one up. I've not actually seen the Clone Wars. I know James has mentioned it previously. The two kind of standalone movies, I think we'll probably all agree that Rogue One was absolutely superb. Anybody disagree with that?
100%, yeah.
Amazing film. I loved everything about it. Now, Solo. I really enjoyed Solo, but it seems to have gotten a bit of a panning and not a fan.
So, initially people really hated it, but a lot of people have come around on it now. I think if you look at it on its own, it's a fun adventure movie, but I think the thing that people couldn't accept was another actor playing Han Solo, and that's really the problem people have with it.
Massively.
But I think Disney have recently said, haven't they, that they're not going to recast any existing characters anymore. So if the actor or actress isn't around anymore, then they'll either CGI it or they just won't have them in at all. They're not going to do any recasting.
I thought he did a good job. I mean, maybe I thought he was good in it.
It's not Harrison Ford, though, is it?
Well, no, yeah, but
he's synonymous with the role, and I know you can't do it physically, but you can't go messing around with stuff like that.
Well, I think though a lot of people would have made that same argument when the prequels were announced and Ewan McGregor was cast as Obi-Wan. That's Alec Guinness. Only Alec Guinness can do that, but we've seen other actors playing younger versions of characters and doing phenomenally. So, yeah.
Speaking of Obi-Wan, we've got the TV series, and for me, this has been a kind of we've got those new Star Wars movies, and then The Mandalorian came out and just wiped the floor, I think, with it. I think Mandalorian is one of the best TV shows I've ever seen. It's superb.
It's great.
Book of Boba Fett, utter poop. Just seen it. Seen it. I didn't particularly like Boba Fett a great deal at all. Anybody up to speed with Obi-Wan, and we'll keep away from spoilers for anybody watching. But where are we at with Obi-Wan? Enjoying it?
Yeah, love it. It's my favorite Disney Plus series so far. Like between this and Marvel.
Yeah. Luke, what about you?
Yeah, I think I'm up to date. I've watched 3 episodes of it so far. I think the next one's out tomorrow, is it not?
Yeah.
Or yeah, yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I think there's really, I'm not going to go into detail, but there's a child actor, and I think she's superb. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, I agree. Jason, what are your thoughts on Obi-Wan?
Well, you probably saw my comments on one of the shows you did about. It might have been Ben's show actually about. I haven't been overly impressed with it. I just think that, again, I'm not going to do any spoilers, but there's a few chase scenes in it, and I think to myself, how on earth is this person getting away?
Yeah,
they're being chased, and by grown adults, and not, it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
and the same for episode 2.
Yeah.
However, episode 3 did have a lot of redeeming stuff for me.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed it, although I'm a bit conflicted with a couple of parts of it, which I know we're not going to talk about now. But
well, I think your argument of people getting away when they shouldn't be able to get away applies to the 3rd episode, I think, as well.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree with that scene at the end of the quarry. Yeah. Well, Jason, hold your tongue slightly, because I don't know if we've mentioned it or not yet, but once Ben has finished all of his weekly series on Obi-Wan, we'll be doing a season review on this channel. So you're more than welcome to come on and chat about it then.
Well,
for my part, I think it's a really good series, but I do agree there's been some interest. I mean, the bit in the woods at the start was just ridiculous.
Yeah.
But 3rd episode was tremendous.
Yeah, it was good.
James, you're up.
Yes, video games. There's a lot of them. Yeah, there was a time on, like, in the kind of PS1, like basically Phantom Menace kickstarted the kind of marketing machine for Star Wars, and Lucas Arts was the company that developed Lucasfilm games. They basically pumped out 3 or 4 games a year, every year up until about 2013, when they shut down, and Lucasfilm licensed it to EA, which led to the 2 more recent Battlefront games, Jedi Fallen Order. There's a Squadrons game as well, like an X-Wing game. Mm-hmm. But they kind of they've taken away exclusivity, so now there's various different companies developing games in Star Wars at the moment, like Ubisoft, for example, is doing one. One of the producers of Uncharted is also doing one. There's about 5 or 6 games, I think, in development at the moment, but there's been some phenomenal ones here.
Yeah. So I've played Fallen Order, and I've played a few of the others that I mentioned on there, but the one that sticks in my mind the most, because I am very, very old, is I had both X-Wing and TIE Fighter, those 2 original games. And they were absolutely amazing. And there was something quite sexy about the noise the TIE Fighter made as you were flying it and all that kind of jazz. Amazing games. I would imagine, James, you probably weren't born when those games came out, so I doubt you've played them, have you?
Probably not. I know of them.
You know,
no, for me, like, nostalgia-wise, Force Unleashed is a big one. I really love that story. I'd love to see Starkiller brought back into canon, maybe as an Inquisitor or something.
For a slightly more updated game, and I've done a video on it if you want to check it out. There's a Vader Unleashed game on the Oculus Quest. So it's a 3D headset, which I've got, and I played. And I recorded, when I first started doing YouTube, I recorded a video of us playing it in the sitting room.
I think I saw that.
Yeah, it's worth watching till the end, because I managed to smash the light fitting.
You smashed them, didn't you?
Yeah, I smashed all the lights.
Yes.
So yeah, but great stuff. So, Jason, have you played any of those? Are you a gamer, Jason?
I'm a massive gamer. Gamer. Yeah. We've got the new Star Wars Lego game. Is it the Legacy? Is it?
Yeah.
It's got all
Skywalker Saga.
Skywalker Saga. That's right. Yeah. So we got that. But I remember playing. I'm going to show my age now. Playing the actual Star Wars arcade game. Do you know, with the wireframe graphics?
Oh yes.
You go down into the trench, and you were sat in a cabinet, weren't you? And you firing the lasers.
Yeah.
I remember playing. you're talking early 80s, mid 80s.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love Star Wars games. Like Andy says, the Star Wars Lego games are awesome. Played Battlefront. I wasn't too keen on Battlefront 2, but Battlefront was good. And of course, Pod Racer as well. That was quite good fun.
Yeah, I found Pod Racer. Don't know how old I was when that came out, but I found that really hard. I just couldn't get the controls right on the Xbox, Xbox or PlayStation, whatever it was.
Yeah, I think I'm sure I played on the Dreamcast. Maybe I think it was because I think it might have been a Sega game. I can't remember. Yeah. Or Sega maybe had the license for it, but it was great.
It was just released last year on like PS4 and Switch and maybe Xbox as well. So there might be better controls on that one.
What about you, Luke?
They hold the graphics on it, haven't they, as well? Because they did a side-by-side comparison of the original graphics and the new ones.
Yeah, it's sharpened up a bit.
Yeah.
What about you, Luke? Are you a gamer?
So I'm not a gamer, but I have played 2 of the games on here, and Greyman's actually already mentioned it. It's Knights of the Republic. I played 1 and 2 back in the day on PC, I believe. I did have it on Xbox, but it was mostly PC for the multiplayer, online gaming aspect.
Yeah. Tremendous. So a whole array of different games you can get there, Star Wars related stuff. Toys, action figures. Luke, you're an action figure expert. I guess I would just say there are thousands upon thousands upon thousands of Star Wars related figures. Do you have many yourself?
So, no, I don't. So I've recently only just started purchasing some of the Star Wars Black Series in the 6-inch line. But it's been a really long time for me to get over the fact that my mum actually threw away a lot of my Star Wars figures when I was a child. So I had like everything when I was a kid, and for whatever reason my mum decided that she was going to clear out my stuff, and she threw a lot of it away. And out of all of the different things that I've recollected over the years, or the stuff that I kept since then, I've never really wanted to dive back into Star Wars because it was something that I already had everything, and then it was taken away. So it's taken me a really long time to jump back into the action figure world. But again, I've stuck with those smugglers, bounty hunters, and rebel type characters. So I'm not going for all the Jedi and the Sith and everything else. Yeah.
There's an awful lot of Quite right. There's an awful lot of Hot Toys and Sideshow Star Wars figures out there. I've not dipped my toe in that yet because I'm scared I'll not stop.
Yeah, I think so. That's probably wise to be.
I'm keeping out of that one at the moment.
You can't just have one stormtrooper. You have to buy multiples.
Well, I would have loads, wouldn't I? Yeah.
Well, 2 at least, I think.
Yeah. In terms of the figures, I remember having a large collection of the original figures back in the day because it was kind of when I was young and collecting toys. But I always remember, and James will have to tell us the name of it, my favourite toy was the from Empire, the kind of I don't know what it's called. The Wookiee, not Wookiee, sorry, the horse thing that he rides and he cuts its belly open and climbs inside it.
Anton.
Yeah, because the toy had like a pouch that you could put him in inside its belly.
That's cool.
That's brilliant. It's like a little kangaroo.
Yeah, like a kangaroo. What about yourself, Jason? You're not a toy collector as such, are you?
No. My wife collects them. But
filth.
Just leave that there.
Yeah. Okay, guys, so enough preamble. Let's get on with the show. If you've not watched the show before, this is What If, and basically we're going to reinvent Star Wars. We've all come up with a version of Star Wars, our take on what it would look like if we were the writers. Variety of presentation styles. Some of us are just going to show images, some of us have done videos, some of us have not done anything at all, Jason. Jason's going to wing it. Jason, with your would you like to go last or first?
Can I get it out of the way with, because I don't want to do... So what I want them to do is
that's why I want people on this show. Do you know what I mean? I want them to come with the enthusiasm of saying things like, let's just get it over with, eh? Let's just get on with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So hang on, I forgot to play me jingle, Jason. I'll give you a few seconds to prepare yourself whilst I play me jingle. So what we do, guys, is we start off with the pitch, which is basically our initial outline of the story. So it's our initial story, and then we'll move on later on to the hook, which is kind of the I am your father moment, or the big kind of storyline. So we'll start off with the pitch. Right, Jason.
Right. Okay. Here's my pitch. Okay, guys. I'm going to make it nice and simple. Put my hood up to hide an embarrassment. Right. Here's my pitch, and you may like this. You might not.
We're bound to like it, Jason. We're bound to.
Okay. What? I can hear a fly. Right. No, I can't hear a fly. So here's the thing. What if the Jedi are the bad guys and the Empire are the good guys? That's my pitch. No, that's it. What do you think of that? That's a great idea. I don't really need to add any more to that.
I mean, mic drop. Mic drop, Jason.
I mean, technically, that is the case already, right? Because they're the police force, and then you've got the rebels. Like, it's
who are
kind
the
of
terrorists? They're just getting in the way. Get rid of them. That's my feeling on it.
Really takes the pressure off, guys, doesn't it?
Do you know what? It's shorter.
I'm not stressed, and I'm like, let's be grand.
It was shorter than mine, and that's saying something.
But do you know what, Jason? Sometimes quality's gone. Sometimes quality comes in short packages, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? Sometimes it's concise and to the point, and it's hard hitting. I mean, not in this
He's
case.
making it up. He goes like,
but,
you're right. I've done no homework. Great man. I've done no homework. I got dragged on here to make up the numbers. But that's all right. I'm here to make you guys look good. Who dressed up with a blanket over him, eh?
Exactly. Superb. So basically, the pitch, Jason, is to reverse the storyline.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, do the Empire have the lightsabers? Who has the lightsabers?
No, the Jedi still have them, but the Dark Force is the good force, and what the Jedi do are wrong. Somehow. We can move on to you guys now.
I mean, yeah, I like it. I do like it. Anybody in the comments?
I mean, everybody's extremely impressed.
At least if he went last, he could have had time to think about something.
He could have just stolen pieces from everyone else, like you did.
That was a beautiful, beautiful pitch, and I'm sure he's going to come back strong for his hook. Isn't that right, Jason?
No hook. There's no. That's it.
That's it.
I promise you, that's it. So you can just. I'll be here to observe now.
Luke, I'm coming to you, mate, to put some effort in. Yours is longer than 30 seconds, isn't it?
It's longer than 30 seconds, but not much longer. It's very short, guys, so please pay attention because I think it's good. Let me know in the comments.
Right, I'm just going to press play.
Hi guys, welcome to Hydra Collectables, where we let our geek flag fly. My name's Luke and I'm your host, and today we're discussing What If Star Wars. So my Star Wars starts out very much the same way as the originals. Darth Maul fails to kill Anakin, leading Obi-Wan Kenobi to reluctantly train him in the ways of the Force. The Empire begins its siege on the galaxy with its clone army, and the Death Star is finally built. But then we take a slight detour. You see, when Luke battles Darth Vader and loses his hand, it is retrieved by a cleanup droid, who in turn brings it to his master, and so on up the chain until eventually it finds itself within the cloning lab. Within weeks, the Empire begins to generate several clones of the young Jedi, training them all in the ways of the Sith. And so, almost as quickly as they came about, the Stormtrooper army is replaced by force-wielding clones of the young Jedi.
Ooh.
I was going to say that.
I mean, you might see that the Jedi have become the enemy there, and you just copy and paste.
You might say, but, he thought of it just now, and I actually made a video.
That's interesting. That was actually like a sort of a deleted thing in, I think, episode 9. It was going to open on a shot Luke, or episode 7. It was going to open on a shot Luke's hand. A lot of people speculate that Rey might be like a clone of Luke.
Oh, right.
Well,
Yeah,
But
but you didn't know
was
that,
my-
Luke, did you?
Well, so I didn't know that it was from any concept, but that
Hmm.
is what I was speculating while we were
Yeah.
watching that trilogy. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, she's going to be like a female clone, or she's going to be harvested from him, his DNA and stuff like that. And then it wasn't the case. But yeah, so that's what I've kind of taken that idea, that theory that I had, and then created this. But I didn't know it was thought about or a deleted thing.
Yeah.
So will they all have the, are you going to come on to that, or will they all have the kind of the Force and the Jedi powers and things?
Yeah, so it's kind of like they've got the cloning technology, right? And so because of episode 1 introducing it, that it's, you know, the midichlorians or whatever it is that they have, you know, this physical thing, it would make sense that the clones would have that too. So, you know, they are basically breeding or creating these, you know, Jedi Masters with high potential.
I like that, actually. That sounds quite good.
I'm pretty sure within canon, you can clone Jedi, and they have Force powers. So just to be a little know-it-all. So there.
I'm
Not impressed there, Jason. Not impressed.
I'm expecting
That's
Jason
solid.
to throw. I'm expecting Jason to throw his robe off and be wearing that bikini.
You wish. Where's she gone? Oh, no. Yeah.
Okay, Luke. I like it. I think that's an interesting one. Anybody got any comments on Luke? So we're happy to move on.
I dig it.
Not as good as mine. Not as good as mine, but
Yeah,
all right, not bad.
Yeah. not bad. He put a little bit of effort in, not as much. Jason.
Little bit.
A bit. Yeah, not bad. James T Keegan, hit me with your pitch then.
Alrighty. So
Oh, he's got notes.
I did. I literally thought I had him on my sheet, but the sheet is for
Here we
the
go.
drawing
Here we
segment.
go.
So,
Yeah.
alrighty. So, we open up very similar to episode 7. You know, it's on Jakku. Lorne Santeca, who is the character that Poe is talking to at the beginning of Force Awakens. He's speaking to an unknown figure. So Kylo Ren descends. An onion figure.
It's
yeah.
an onion figure.
So Kylo Ren descends on a village on the desert planet. He kills Laura Santeca, but instead of Poe attacking Kylo out of anger, it's Ben Solo. So Kylo restrains Ben and takes him aboard the First Order ship. While interrogating Ben for the location of the map, Kylo's helmet comes off to reveal Rey. So cut to 10 years earlier, after being offered half of her usual payment of portions for her scavenging haul, a 10-year-old Rey, in her anger, releases a force shockwave that levels half of Unkar Plutt's scavenging settlement. Soon after, the ship she recognizes as the one she believed her parents left her in Jakku in several years prior lands at the spaceport, and from its ramp descends Ochi of Bastoon. He approaches Rey, kneels down, and tells her, "I am here to take you to your family." Han, Leia, Luke, Chewie, and Lando band together once again to rescue Ben and discover the origin of the First Order.
Oh,
So,
That's
Luke,
interesting.
you haven't seen episode 9, so you probably don't know.
No, but I know.
some of
hang
these
on.
characters.
Which one's episode 9? Is that Force?
The Rise of Skywalker.
Rise of Skywalker.
Is that the last
But-
one?
Yes. So there's.
But I
some
know enough
retcons.
about it. I know all the big spoilers and stuff like that. And if I haven't watched it by now, guys, I mean, come on, I've got no
Yeah.
leg to stand on to hide from
Just,
spoilers.
just before I come back to James there to explain that a little bit, Jason, I'm struck with how much you look like T-Boo now, the Ewok. You've got kind of an
T-Bone.
Ewok thing. T-Boo, yeah.
Did you know that's my nickname, T-Bone?
You had to make it weird. James, just run.
Yes.
Explain that to her again. And talk
Right.
to
So the what if is what if Palpatine found Rey earlier on.
Got you.
So rather than Kylo being Snoke's apprentice, Rey is Palpatine's apprentice. So we have a few characters. So I usually take a sort of the world is completely different approach on these things, but this time I
Yeah.
actually did like a straight up what if.
Yeah.
So Ben, without Snoke's influence, Ben never turns to the dark side,
Right.
and Ochi of Bastoon is the Sith assassin that Palpatine sent to find Rey. So because she levels that town, it attracts his attention, and he finds her and brings her to Palpatine. And also, get the gang back together, because this photo is actually taken from a Mark Hamill tweet. It said hashtag missed opportunity.
Because we never actually got that, did we? We didn't actually get them all back together. I
Yeah,
don't
and
think.
that was one of the first things I thought of leaving The
Is
Force
Chewbacca
Awakens. I was
not
like,
in that picture?
he's not, but I didn't know.
He's under
I'll
the
be
desk.
honest, man.
He's under the desk.
Yeah.
It does feel like a big missed opportunity that we didn't get to see that on screen.
Yeah, just one film of them together would have been nice.
Yeah, interesting stuff. Another good take. Oh dear, here we go. Right, I'm just going to play it, and then you can just tell us it's cat.
Are you sure you don't want to apologize to people first?
I'd probably apologize after.
Wow.
My wife's name out your mouth.
Celebrities defending Will Smith hitting Chris Rock. I love Chris Rock. I don't think he would have made that joke had he known what Jada recently shared,
First of all, I've seen a man stand up for his wife.
saying violence isn't okay. Assault is never the answer. Don't say protect black women for 2 years and then only condemn Will here. Come on. It was just a joke. Jokes are what Chris Rock does. Always has been edgy. That was a mild joke for him. And I love G.I. Jane.
I mean,
I don't feel so bad now.
all I'll say, right? All I'll say is, you guys know I've had a rough couple of weeks, and I may have had a nervous breakdown, right? So,
Hey, there was no Nazis in there, so it's
exactly.
Yes.
Not a Nazi in
Also
sight. No
bonus.
Peggy Carter. No Star Wars. But so mine is I've gone a slightly different route. I've literally just used the name Star Wars, and I've interpreted it as Oh my god. I've interpreted it
Surrounded
as
by my honeys.
celebrity wars rather than set in space.
Oh, like Star Wars. Okay,
Star
right.
Wars.
Thank you for joining us, James.
Yeah.
Right. No, I honestly, did you catch that during the video? Because I didn't cop that at all until I
It was
didn't.
like the entire bloody premise, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was just really confused. Like Will Smith's showing up. Like I didn't cop that it's a pun. Okay, I get you.
I get you.
All right.
Oh dear. Yeah.
You know what, guys? I worked really hard on mine.
Well,
So did I, man.
Yours
was
didn't
proud of
have
it.
the yellow rating and all that stuff. I did that. I had to pay 80 pence for the app that did that.
Well, I didn't do it because last time you paid 80 pence. I did not go for free, man.
80 pence. 80 pence. Yeah.
Could have just had a
Yeah.
sheet of paper and lifted it above the screen.
Yeah. I was going to sing the song myself until James sent me the music the other day. That would have been entertaining. Okay, guys. So what we're going to do now is the world. So at this bit, we basically all have to draw
I've just realised you now have to draw Will Smith slapping Chris Rock.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. So for this one, we're going to draw our movie poster. All right. The poster that we're going to put out there to get people enticed into coming to see the film. All right. So as usual, what we're going to do, chaps, is I'll start the timer. We'll get 2 rounds of it. No, 1 round of it. We'll see how we're feeling. As we're doing it, I'm going to put up some images of what you guys have got coming up on your shows and your channels, and I'll distract. Jason, you haven't started drawing yet, have you?
No.
No? Okay. I just noticed your tongue was out, and I was wondering what you were doing.
There's a reason.
Okay. So I'll put up some images of the different shows he's going to be doing and get you to chat about them. Once we've done this, James, can we go back and just check on the comments, and we'll see what the people are saying.
Yeah.
Okay, so your timer starts now.
I've no fucking ink.
You know what?
I've no fucking ink in my pen.
Disgraceful. Right, guys. So what we've got coming up, as you all know, anybody that's watching, myself, James, and Luke. Sorry, that was me shaking my pen, guys.
That's right.
Do a few shows together. So one of which is Boys and the Toys. We've decided now that we're going to do Boys and the Toys every month instead of every other month. So the first episode of that is going to be on the 28th of June. If anybody's interested in joining me for that, please drop us a line. We're going to change the format slightly. So I'll be leading on 1/6 scale figures. Luke's going to lead on smaller figures. James is going to lead on computer games. And we'll also have a variety of other topics and some photo competitions. So if anybody wants to join that, please feel free to do so. Let us know. Next, What If? We've got coming up on the 19th of July is going to be What If Doctor Strange. So again, should be an interesting one. And again, if anybody is interested in joining for that show, please give us a shout and we'll add you to the panel. And as you can see, quality is not an issue. You just come and see whatever you want. All right. Next, a couple of things from me coming up this week. I've got 3 videos out this week. I've got a comic unboxing, and then I've also got some X-Men keys I picked up and an action figure from 3.0 of Storm Shadow from G.I. Joe. So that's what I've got coming up this week. Jason, tell me about this.
So I paid a little visit to Merthyr Tydfil in the South Wales Valleys. I've been there a couple of times before. Great little shop. They do a lot of Silver Age comics, a lot of Bronze Age comics, mainly DC. So if you like your DC books, then that's the place for you. Fantastic selection. They had first Batgirl there, first Captain Boomerang, first Shocker. Is that ASM 46? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Not sure.
It's just a lovely store. Loads of comics, thousands of comics, but mainly old back issues, which is what we like. Yeah.
What were the prices like, Jason?
Expensive. The guy, to be fair, he's canny. He knows his stuff. He knows his comics, and he knows what they go for. I would say they're probably priced fairly for the market. But I think if you do buy a few books there, you can probably negotiate some prices on them. I managed to get a bit of a deal.
And we haven't had any live shows from you for a while, Jason. Have we got anything coming up?
I've stopped doing them, mate. It's weird. It's just so much going on at the moment. I've got barely time to make regular videos, to be honest with you.
Well, you're always welcome on ours. So if you ever fancy
you.
jumping on, just give us a shout.
Okay, thank you.
Okie dokie. Next, Luke.
Oh, yeah. So that's the Geek Retreat, which happens every Sunday on my channel, Hydra Collectables. And I'm joined by these 2 lovely people here, Peter and James. But like Peter said, it's open to everyone. So if Jason wants to come on one week, he's more than welcome to. Just let one of us know and we'll make arrangements to get you on the following week. So, we just talk about all things geeky news that has happened throughout that week.
Tremendous. Thank you very much. And I have to say, that's one of my favourite shows to do at the moment, Luke. I'm really enjoying that. It's just a nice chilled hangout. And we had Andy on from Perpetual Comics this week, and that was great fun as well. And Phil from Phil's Nerdiverse, Ephraim's obviously on, JP's on a lot. So yeah, great show. What's this one, Luke?
Yeah, so this is one that I've been working on in the background, been doing some on-site photography in order to showcase my NECA Planet of the Apes collection. It's probably one of my favorite action figure collections that I own. These figures are quite pricey now. So yeah, I'm hoping that people get to see something that is now discontinued and quite hard to find. I tried looking myself to see if I could find many videos featuring them, and there's not as many as I thought there would be, so I feel there's a gap in the market.
Oh, Geek Retreat isn't long enough, make it 90 minutes. Tremendous. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it, Fuzzy, mate.
A free
Okie
content.
dokie. James.
Yes. So my next video, the one I'm currently working on, is a update on every production, everything PlayStation Productions is working on. So doing a Twisted Metal TV series for Peacock. There's been some really good cast members announced for that, like Anthony Mackie, Nev Campbell, Stephanie Beatrice. So that's one I'll be particularly covering in that. But I'll have a little bit about the God of War Amazon series and the Horizon Netflix series and everything that's in production at the moment, and probably a god awful sequel to Uncharted.
Uncharted was a masterpiece. I loved it.
Yeah. Okay. So that'll be at some point this week. Anyway, I'm nearly finished.
Tremendous. Anything else?
No, there's that, and then if you are a Star Wars fan, which I assume you are if you're watching this, Thursdays at 8:00, I am on the Attention Seeking Geek YouTube channel for the weekly Obi-Wan review.
Tremendous. Great. Thank you very much, James. Right, guys, pens down.
Oh,
Now, I can't help but notice James finished writing a while ago, so I'm hoping we've not got a printout like previous James.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Right. So we will come to James first. So this is your movie poster.
So, the first poster of a Star Wars movie is always quite basic, Now, I actually wish I had black paper because I don't think this would look awful. But, so that's... it's invisible.
That's amazing.
You drew it. Wow.
Give me 1 second.
he's done it in green.
I'll turn off. There you go. Okay.
There we go.
Now,
The illusion's shattered.
So there you go. If it was black, the stars and then the Star Wars logo, that's what a teaser poster looks like, And
I don't know, the way you wrote Star Wars there, the S and the star looks more like Star Trek to me.
That's shit. You're right, are you? Damn it. That's the R that goes there. Yeah. Okay. It's your influence, Peter.
It looks tremendous. It looks very good. Well done. Luke, you're still writing and drawing.
Yeah, go to Jason next.
No, you've had your time. Come on.
Yeah, mister. Come on. Cheat.
Oh, that's good.
That's son of a Peter. This isn't fair. This isn't an even spread,
That's meant to be a needle, by the way. I don't know if it's,
that.
I don't know if it's identifiable.
It is.
I like how you just threw in Wally for some cross Disney promotion.
Irritates me how talented you are with the drone side of things. I have to say.
No, I'm not.
I think that's a very good one. Now, Jason.
Here we go. You've been waiting for this, guys.
I have.
I like my hair like this. It's in a ponytail. Okay, you ready? Oi, stop laughing. Oi. That was my original drawing. It looked too much like a fluffy dog.
Dark Wars. We
are the good guys. We had a halo look. Halo.
I mean, I actually think that's better than Luke's. I have to be honest. It's stunning. So mine, I had a pen malfunction when I realised the yellow pen doesn't work on black card. I've drawn little Oscar there.
So that's why I was sort of going for it.
What's he holding? It's
his penis.
I thought so.
No, it's his sword. The Oscar's got a sword or something, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it a sword?
Oh, no, I think
I
so.
thought it was a sword.
I thought
Something like
King or
that.
something. Yeah.
Excellent. Well done. James, can we jump to the chat and just see if there's any
Yes,
comments?
we'll see if
Thanks, Andy. Thanks.
Jason Stark looks sad.
Yeah, I know. Sad dog.
No, there's nobody's really commenting on masterpieces at the moment. Mostly just people noticing that everyone got 6 minutes instead of 3.
Yeah,
So,
cheating.
And
Cheating.
you should stop when you stop. Yeah.
Okay, guys. So let's move straight on with the hook, which is kind of your killer storyline. Brian Besson. Yeah. So, which is the kind of the hook point of your story. So, Jason, you've got a few seconds to think of a hook.
So it really depends what you mean by hook. What do you mean hook? What's the hook?
What's the
the best part?
storyline? What's the best part of your story?
Well, the fact that
Go on, I dare you. I dare
the
you.
goodies.
Say that the Jedi are baddies. Go on.
The Jedi's are baddies. That's the hook. It doesn't need anything else, mate. That's it.
Oh, Jason, tremendous! I love it. I love it. I think that's probably better than all the Star Wars movies put together. To be honest, I love it.
It's really hot in Tatooine.
It is. It is. So, who went next? Was it Luke? I think it was, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Luke, anything to say before we play yours?
It's another short one. I'm sorry. This sinful act of cloning Skywalkers brings an imbalance to the Force. For every new clone they create shifts the balance from good to evil. However, there is a new hope on the horizon. One scientist betrays his superiors and sneaks away a single embryo, one who will later be raised and taught in the ways of the Jedi, a hero for the side of good. But this is no Skywalker. No, this is a clone of a great Master Jedi. The great Master Yoda. Why was Jason's microphone unmuted? Making stupid noises during my hook.
Oh, I didn't think you'd hear it.
No, we all heard it. The internet heard it. Well, some of them. Tremendous. So, talk us through that then, Luke.
Yeah, so again, like this was one of my theories. Obviously, I hadn't seen the final Rise of Skywalker movie, so I did anticipate that maybe Rey would have been a clone. We, of course, had what we called Baby Yoda, and I assumed that maybe that was a clone too. And I thought that this was going to become a thing. And when it wasn't, I thought, well, it's still a nice bit of fan fiction, and I decided to use it for our show here.
Very good. I like it. I like it. Anybody got any comments on Luke's hook there?
Everybody's going wild and crazy.
Yeah.
Superb, Luke. I think you started the show off. Or you said to us earlier on that you thought yours was quite strong, and I have to say it is. It's very good.
He's the winner. Let's face it. He's won.
So, James T, you're up.
Right. So the most detail I've given was in my opening, but I just have a few tidbits about the kind of rest of the saga. So the seventh movie, so the first movie, wraps up this way. Over the course of the movie, Rey and Ben develop romantic feelings, so she sort of seduces him both to the dark side and romantically. Finn is in the movie as a Ben's Padawan, but he is not called Finn because he was never in the First Order, so his name is Jason. Jacen.
Got you.
Poe is also kind of Han's kind of protege as well in not the Resistance, but the New Republic army. So in the finales, Han sacrifices himself to destroy Starkiller Base, similar to the regular movie. Leia goes full Jedi and faces off against Captain Phasma. And as Starkiller Base is destroyed, Ben is given the chance to return to his family similar to this shot where the chasm opens up and he's kind of stuck in the middle. And he chooses to go with Rey instead. And then the movie ends with Rey taking Ben to Exegol and revealing her master is Palpatine. So that's the big shock at the end of the movie. Episode 8, all I know about it is Ahsoka is going to be there because everybody loves Ahsoka. And Rey and Ben kill Palpatine, declaring themselves Emperor and Empress. And episode 9, Force Ghost Anakin speaks to Ben, bringing him back to the light. After a lengthy duel, Ben manages to bring Rey back to the light when she's given a chance to be accepted into a new family.
Ooh,
So,
interesting stuff. What do I think about that, guys?
That's good.
Luke?
Not as good as Luke's.
okay.
Oh, that's harsh. No, I really like that. That sounds really cool. I like that idea.
I like it as well.
Very
I think it sounds really interesting. Captain Phantasm.
Phasma.
Phantasm?
Yeah, is that the one with the silver armor?
Yes,
Yes.
who would you believe it, sold the most action figures
It
from
feels
the
to
first
me like
movie.
they were criminally underused in the movies because you didn't see a great deal, but they had a very cool looking costume and aesthetic.
It's Gwendolyn,
Yeah.
isn't it? From
Gwendolyn, Game of Thrones, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
Gwendolyn Christie, yeah. Yeah, she was like, everyone was excited to see her, and they did nothing with her. And then in The Last Jedi, they said, we're going to do her justice this time, and they kill her in like one
Yeah.
scene. Yeah, so silly.
Good stuff. Lots of positive comments in the chat there about that, James. Well done. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
Oh.
So
And then 2, yeah.
here's mine. Mine's a bit of it. I'm trying to get rid of that comment. Can't seem to get rid of it.
Guys, listen, I got to fly. I got Millennium Falcon. Can we get this moving?
Mine's a long one, Jason, so you're in it for the long haul, mate. You've got engine trouble.
He
You're
said.
stalled, okay? And again, like I said before, all I can do is apologise for this utter cack. Right, guys, our story picks up just after the Oscars travesty. The slap was heard around the world and has immediate effect. Celebrities are absolutely dumbfounded. They can't believe what they've witnessed. And before long, sides are taken. The teams split into 2 distinct camps, the Smiths and the Rocks, each being led by a celebrity. Jim Carrey, defender of virtue and peace, spearheads the Rocks' response. Whereas, let's be honest, I'm 45. I haven't got a bloody clue who that is, but she looks rather smart. Anyway, this one, the pink thing, she leads the Smiths' response. The slap is a catalyst for old rivalries to rise to the front, and it doesn't take long before celebrities are at each other's throats. Things bubble to the top when Vin Diesel and The Rock get into a heated debate about whose forehead is the shiniest, and quickly turns to violence. Seeing their idols fall from grace, the general public, the great unwashed, engage in battle in support of their own teams. In a matter of days, the world is divided to those that support Smith and those that support The Rock. Recognizing impending doom, both sides dispatch peace envoys to try and broker a ceasefire. Chris Rock's peace envoy, Steven the Seagal, begins the talks, negotiating firmly. Smith's envoy, the silver-tongued Ozzy Osbourne, tries to flatter Seagal with no avail. However, as talks progress, both men seem to reach an agreement. Disaster. Osbourne, using his usual wit and charm, decides to bring up the subject of Under Siege 2, Dark Territory, one of Seagal's films, which is an utter piece of shit. Seagal reacts immediately and, using his ninja-like skills, leaps forward, literally ripping Osborne's head from his shoulders. Tragedy. The world is engulfed in warfare. Tanks march on major cities, and television studios become home to refugee celebrities. Smith, recognizing his part in the devastation, begins to have second thoughts. He reflects on the actions he's taken and begins to try and make amends. However, in the shadows, whispering in his ear, is another fallen celebrity, Emperor Gibson. Do it. Do it, Gibson whispers. Smith, egged on by this pure force of evil, engages Rock in battle. News of the battle spreads fast, and before long, all celebrities are engaged in battle. Celebrities literally face off in death matches, and blood is spilt. Only one man believes he can save the world. Yoda Cruz, who spent the last 15 years engulfed in an absolute bullshit cult. Sorry, can't say that. Who's gone all religious and stuff, and has decided that he can save everybody's life. Cruz assembles all the remaining celebrities to his Hollywood mansion so that he can give them a seminar and pamphlets on how to be better human beings. However, Yoda Cruz did not anticipate a rogue element. Mad as a box of frogs and off his tits and all kinds of stuff, Jack Nicholson. Jack doesn't care whose side he's on, he's purely there for the chaos. And running into the building wearing his Jaeger vest, he literally detonates. Carnage. Jaeger bomb fueled fire engulfs the compound. Celebrities are killed instantly. Teen heartthrob Macaulay Culkin's head is literally shot from his body and bounces past Robert De Niro. Cruz himself is engulfed in flames and dies on the spot. Everybody's favourite star, Samuel L. Jackson, who was only there for the free buffet, was unfortunately wearing a toupee, which ignites, melting his brain. Rock was thankfully blown from the site and survives. However, Smith's body is burnt beyond all recognition, and he is presumed dead. The remaining mega celebrities go through the usual stages of grief. First, despair, then confusion, and finally, absolute rage. This rage leads to an increase in fighting and all-out war. The Earth is doomed, and the remaining celebrities have no choice but to flee the planet and head for space. The Rock's crafting starships, which look far better than anything you'll see in Star Wars, and take off, fleeing the dying planet. However, they are pursued by the Rocks, and thus the Star Wars literally takes to the stars. Unbeknownst to the Rocks, on board one of the enemy ships sits Emperor Gibson with his new right-hand man, Darth Smith. Their mission: to destroy all celebrities within the galaxy. I mean, Luke, you look stunned. Are you just amazed at how good that was, or what?
There were you had multiple chances to change your mind during those edits,
What do you mean?
but I respect that you stuck with it.
Oh, that was so bad I cut my hand off with my lightsaber. So bad.
Well, one thing you can't say is it's not original.
I know.
Like I say, I may have had a...
Well, it's not though, because you just ripped off Darth Vader and Star Trek, and
I quite liked it. I was laughing.
How
I gotta
dare you,
admit.
sir? Sorry,
I
Jason,
thought it was
what were you-
funny. I thought it was funny. I was laughing. I don't know if I was meant to laugh. But I love the fact that Jack Nicholson came in.
Either laugh or cry, I think is one of the things. Right, guys. So there we go. That's the end of our case on Star Wars. Thank God. Anybody got any final comments to want to make about their pictures? Luke, I have no doubt you'll be wanting to progress yours and do another follow-on video or something.
Well, this is the thing with you have your other video idea in mind of the end, and I would like to revisit quite a lot of my ideas that we've done on the What If show in that new upcoming feature.
So so just for anybody that's watching, this is a new idea we've been talking about for a little while, which is where we're going to kind of bookend this series with a series called The End, which would be us reimagining the last ever story of whatever the character may be. So the last ever Star Wars story, or the last ever Thor story, or whatever it may be. So that may be coming in the future. Okay, guys. So I think we'll draw a line under it there. Can I just say a massive thank you to you all for taking part and all the effort you've put in. Jason, thank you very much for coming along. Jason, you're always entertaining, mate. Thank you very much. I do appreciate you jumping in. It's been appreciated. I'd also just like to big up the chat, say a massive thank you to all you guys. You've been fantastic. Been lots of comments flying backwards and forwards. So thank you very much. Really do appreciate you all joining us. I think we had about 17 or 18 people at one point watching,
Yeah,
which
that's
is good for me. So thank you very much, everybody. Like I said earlier on, watch out for the next What If, which is going to be Doctor Strange. And then we've got Boys and the Toys coming up as well. So with that, thank you very much, everybody. And we'll say good night. Good night.
Goodbye now.